Well, hello, my lovelies. It's the Koi Mum here, still with a very croaky voice after the Christmas manky bug. And today it's day one of Project Pond. So I'm going to talk you through where we are and where we're going next. This is my back alley. First of all, the eagle-eyed among ye may have spotted this Nexus 320 that we purchased recently. It's way too much filtration. Can you ever have too much filtration? No. But it was there, it was within our price range budget, and we jumped on it. And then, oh look, there's Hubby. So I'll take you a little bit further around my, I'll fall over a bit. I'll take you a little bit further around my back alley. Oh yeah. And so this is the garden and what we're doing. This here is the original pond that we built. So I'll take you down in a sec just to show you that one. And then the bigger pond we built behind it, which then introduced us into keeping koi. However, back to Project Pond build. Come down there in a minute. There used to be about there to the house a interior cable, electricity cable thing that was then feeding all of the electrics to the indoor overwintering pond and the two ponds down the bottom. Pretty dodgy. So we've had an electrician out. He's now fitted a cable that comes down here. We're going to cut it in across the path, dig that in. My husband is currently having a lovely time digging out the trench. Yeah, let's go down a bit further and I'll show you a bit what we're dealing with. Hi baby, you alright? God, taking my life in my hands. I'm so sorry about the footage. Wobbly wobbly. Let's get onto some like safe ground. As you can see, we are sloping downhill in this garden. Everything is on the wonk. And it gets really muddy up here, obviously. Really clayey soil. So I've put this trackway down, which is a bit of cheap and nasty AstroTurf that I cut into strips and put in a trackway so we don't fall over every 5 seconds in the mud, although that would make really good footage. Anyway, so we're coming down here. This is the original pond that started off all the crazy madness, but there's a whole other video on our journey, so I won't go into that anymore today. That used to be just about where my husband stood, actually. But we've moved it down here, and then we've got a lot of dead plants. Oh, bless them. Look how neglected. Henry the heron. And then this was the pond that we then built, realising that I had completely overstocked that pond with goldfish. So we built a bigger pond. Winter covered up, snuggled pond. Fish are all fine in there, I check them every day. Then we've got a bit of rando patio, some rando steps, up to a slightly higher level, which is full of gubbins. Need to put a new fence up. And then in there is my overwintering pond and various other storage. So then as we come back up the garden, dun, 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 the pile of doom, which is my current job. That is currently going into a skip, which is on our driveway at the front of the house, which arrived yesterday. And so this is going to be emptied first. The window blew out in the wind. As you can imagine, we're quite exposed up here. So that's all going to be ripped down and put in probably another skip. We'll probably need about 4. Then we've got a load of reclaimed block pavers that no idea what we're going to do with, and a load of gubbins that needs to go in the skip. Okay, so in the comments, if you have got any idea how we get rid of this ivy without, like, I don't know, someone losing an eye, please let me know. So I'll show you. If I come across here, all this needs to be moved. This is just dead plants in pots, which is the story of my life. And then in under here, which used to be my husband's Pride and Joy aviary, which we've completely ignored and abandoned for very long. Let me see if you can go inside, look. Here we go. God, not even I've been inside here for ages. And there's all sorts of, for God's sake, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So that's all got to come out. Come back in up the garden, different angle. Then we've got the brick shed that needs to come down. Everything that's currently in there needs to go in the new shed. And we've got a load of gubbins here. This is sand and stuff we'll use for the build, so that's fine. I wish I did tip runs more often. But I've got to get rid of all of that as well. They're going to hate me at the tip. And then that shed, which has got, I don't even know what's in there, spiders and stuff. That's all got to come out. Anything that's savable will go in the new shed. And then that is all going to get ripped down. So eventually, we come back up my back alley again. So eventually, everything that you can see there, all the way down to the pond at the bottom, the pond shed at the bottom. Everything down to the pond shed at the bottom will be gone, and it will just be one big open space. Then we need to figure out the layout of the pond and where the new shed's gonna go, the new filter pump house shed thing. But first it's garden clearance time in the rain. So, day one, update finished. I'll be back with another update tomorrow. So as you can see, if I can point, I don't understand how people do this really clever pointing thing. Hang on. So, okay, there's the camera. So, this here is the original pond